What's up, guys? It's Lex here, and today I will be sharing with you the story of how I made over $5,000 selling Kool-Aid online. And as crazy as it sounds, it definitely worked, and it was super easy to do. It only took me maybe like a couple of days to really get into it and make my first $250. It was super easy, and I know that you guys are maybe wondering how this is done, so I definitely want to share with you an in-depth view of how that happened and the steps that I took to make that happen. Alright, before we jump right in, I want to give you guys some background on exactly how I made this happen. So basically one night I'm sitting there searching for some vintage collectibles online and ended up coming across a pack of vintage Kool-Aid. So I ended up buying it for maybe $5. Then a couple of days later I ended up seeing the exact same packet for around 5 or 6 times as much. So in my head I thought, well, maybe I could sell mine for that much and maybe make a profit. So I tried it out and it worked. I ended up making a sale maybe a couple of days later. So then I ended up, kind of doing my research on what packets were rare and which were not. So I ended up doing the research for maybe 1 or 2 days, and I eventually, picked up some knowledge, and I did more searching on eBay for where these packets were, and I ended up finding another packet for around $6.50, right? So I ended up buying that one, and that was one of the ones that I saw on a blog, and the author of the blog said that one was really, really rare. So, and the guy that was selling it was selling 2 for $6.50. So I ended up buying that one. I ended up selling each of those packets for $125 each. So by this time, maybe a few weeks later, I already made around $300 total so far with very little work, like maybe not even an hour's worth of work trying to sell these packets. So over time, I ended up reaching out to the same customer who had previously bought the packet for $125, and come to find out he was a really big collector. So that was my kind of key to profit, right? So then I ended up keeping in touch with him, and basically every time I bought a packet or invested money into a packet, I would reach out to him first and give him the option to buy this packet. And every time I reached out to him, he made some really good offers. The offers ranged between $50 to $300, honestly, and he became my #1 customer. So what I started doing after that was always checking eBay 3 times a day, sometimes more, because there was always new packets being posted for sale at really any given moment. And if you were to miss out on a really rare pack, you just missed out on potentially hundreds of dollars. So it really became important to keep on top of those packets, right? And there would be some times where I would definitely miss out on some packets. So it was definitely frustrating sometimes to really miss out on those types of sales. So it definitely became super important to just stay on top of that. And the main reasons people would be selling packets is because they were either cleaning out their grandma's house or moving or something like that, and they just had these packets stored away for years. And basically, if the packet was opened, it was virtually worthless, and if the packet was closed, it was just extremely rare. I have no idea why these packets are more rare because they're open. I have no idea, just I guess because mint condition. And honestly, there weren't a lot of collectors out there, so I really made it my priority to talk to this one guy to buy all of my packets. So he was the most valuable asset of this kind of business, right? So what I learned at that point was that it was super important to definitely stay on top of eBay and definitely keep doing my research, because I honestly didn't know the value of every single pack. So I had to really keep on top of my research, and some of the prices I just kind of made up to see if he would bite, and sometimes he wouldn't, sometimes he would. It really helped me with my negotiating skills as well, because you really had to talk someone into buying a pack of Kool-Aid for $200. So I definitely made it my goal to really just stay on top of those things and make sure that I was making the profit I wanted to make. And I definitely made some bad decisions throughout the entire thing, and learned some stuff as well, because one time I bought one item on eBay that was kind of these Kool-Aid boxes, and it came with 6 of them for only $25. So I thought I had found the gold mine, right? You get 6 for $25. So I ended up buying those and listing them for maybe $30 each, thinking I would make a total of $180. So over time, they just didn't sell. So I ended up pricing them at $10 a piece and still didn't sell all of them to this day. So I only ended up losing maybe $5 total. So it wasn't honestly that bad. I mean, I didn't really lose out on a huge chunk of money. I honestly made so much more profit than I would have. So I mean, I wasn't gonna cry over only $5, right? So I ended up just moving forward from that. Another really good time in this whole journey was the time that I had found some Canadian packets for maybe only $11 a piece, and I personally reached out to the guy and asked how much did he have, because you know, if you find something really good, it's always good to just reach out to people and see how much they have that's not listed. So he ended up having some really valuable packets where he was. So he told me that he had them, and I made him an offer of around $100 for all of his packets. So when he finally got those delivered to me from Canada, I ended up selling each packet for maybe $150. So sometimes less, maybe it was in the range of 100 to 150. So I ended up making almost $1,000 in that maybe one day, selling it to my same main customer. So it made it extremely valuable to keep talking to my main customer, right? Because without him, I don't think I would have sold those at all for that price, and he was the only one willing to pay that price. So it definitely was worth it to keep that connection going. And definitely want to show you guys some stuff on the laptop just to confirm some of the numbers as well. So let's jump right into that real quick. Alright guys, so here I am in my eBay, and this is where I started maybe in 2018. So this is where I bought a packet for around $75. I think I ended up selling that one for maybe like $150. So that was definitely a really good investment right there. You made double your money back within a day. And right here is where I bought a pack for 10, and I got tons of packs. I got like 53 packs right here. So that was good because I think I sold maybe 5 of those packets and made around $200. So that was definitely a really good investment. I ended up making 20 times as much as I put into it. So that was definitely great. And let's see what else we have. This is where I bought the 2 Flintstones packet for $6.50. That's the one I told you that I made over $250 on. So that was definitely an amazing investment. So let's look into a few more before we jump back into it. This was a really good one as well. This is a marketing box that was extremely rare. I got it for $60. I believe I ended up selling this for around $200, so I made $140 profit off of that. So another really good investment. So as you can see, most of these were some really good investments. Let's jump into 2019, show you guys some stuff from there. So right here I invested $8.50. I think I made maybe $30 off that. Here I ended up getting a box plus a pack of Kool-Aid for $20. Ended up selling that for maybe $125. So I ended up selling the box for $20 and the pack for $125. So I ended up making $145 total off of that. And keep in mind, this was all to the same guy. I believe all of these were to the same guy. So my same main customer. I remember this one right here. I invested $15 total into this one, and I ended up selling this for, I believe, $95. So I ended up making $80 profit off this, and that took maybe 2 days to do that. So minimal work for $80. So definitely another good one. This one was okay. I think I ended up making $125 off of this one. It took a while to sell it, so I ended up making a really good profit off that. Let's jump into a few more. So this was one of the Canadian packets that I ended up selling. I got it for 11, and like I said, this sold for maybe $100. So I ended up making maybe $89 to $90 off this package. So that was a really good investment. So before we move right into that, I just want to show you guys here the total sales made to date Total transactions. It says 94, but that was some other stuff as well. And total sales were $5,684. Subtracting the other items that I sold, it would come out to around $5,000 just with Kool-Aid alone. So what I definitely learned from this was that you do not need a lot of customers to really have a successful business. If you have maybe 10, 20 really good customers that really believe in your business, they will make your business successful or really pay off in the long run. So definitely keep connections with those customers. That's definitely one of the things that I learned going forward with my entrepreneurial journey. Another thing I learned is that you really don't have to put in a ton of stress into what you're doing. You know, if you just stick with the main points and really keep up with it day to day, it will definitely pay off in the long run. So definitely keep up with what you're doing. Always manage it right. Always make sure you're getting the profit that you want. So definitely don't skimp on what you're trying to do. You know, don't cheat yourself in the long run. I also learned how valuable it is to do your research, because imagine if I would have found all of these same packets and really only sold them for 20 bucks each. I would have never even hit $1,000 in profit. So definitely do your research. Know what your product is worth. You know, you don't want to go into something selling your valuable product for half the cost, and on the flip side, you definitely don't want to go into something selling your product for 10 times what it's worth and expecting something to happen, because people know, they know the value in something. And also, there is a such thing as the perceived value. So whatever something really costs is definitely not the perceived value. Someone can definitely see something you're selling worth 10 times as much as what you're selling, and there's some people that see what you're selling as worthless. So definitely keep that in mind when you're selling a product or making a service, or just being an entrepreneur in general and creating a business. So definitely keep that in mind. So I just want to thank you guys for checking out this video. Definitely let me know what kind of side hustles you guys have gotten into down in the comments below, and definitely like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm definitely going to be releasing some more new videos on different ways that I've had different side hustles, things like that. So definitely let me know what you guys have done to make money on the side and different ways you've quit your 9-to-5. Definitely drop those below and share with everyone else. Let's make this a community where everyone can learn and share and grow. That's what we're here for, to learn and grow together. So definitely drop those below. And thanks for checking out the video.